Hello and welcome to ranking every single Block Wars S tier and A plus tier player. So before I begin, I would like to say that this is content creator event players only, and I'm only doing S tier and A plus tier players because one, only do S and A plus because beyond that could be viewed as mean, and two, I am not ranking every single player. I'm not that much of a psychopath yet. So let's get into it. So the lowest A plus tier player we have here is Boostfur, and he's still really good, but I think his main issue here is he's a bit inconsistent. So he's played 4 times, and only half of that he has came top 10, and only one of which he's came top 5. I think his lowest placement is 18th, while his highest placement is 4th. And again, he's very, very inconsistent, which is why he's placed so low. However, he's still very skilled in games such as Extraction, and I guess you could say Spleef, but whenever you look at his Spleef stats, yeah, it really proves my point that he's inconsistent. But Boostfur is still extremely mechanically skilled player, which is why he's A+. Next up we have Wolfie, and I think he falls into the same thing as Boostfur of being pretty inconsistent. He either comes top 10 or he doesn't. He has won top 5 in the first ever Block Wars. And yeah, he struggles with the same problem Boostfur, being pretty inconsistent with his placements. However, he's still very mechanically skilled, even outplaced Boostfur on the same team with him last event. Now, there isn't really much to say here. He's very, very good, which is why he's A+. I just can't rank him any higher with the consistency he has been having. So yeah, moving on. Now, this one might be a bit controversial, but we have Alumina up next. And first of all, I didn't add that Jack stuff. Second of all, I think Alumina is A+, and he's very, very skilled, and he's shown that he can lead a team as shown in Block Wars 5, and I guess partially in Block Wars 6, even though it was mostly Curry who was leading that team. But I feel like he became A+ after Block Wars 6, as he outplaced Curry and JoJo, especially Curry in this regard. And almost came top 5 when he came sick, and he's really only like underperforming event. Well, I guess you can kind of count Block Wars 5, but he had a really bad battle where he came 39th. But in his first ever event, Block Wars 2, he was very confused, and in Block Wars 5, he was also pretty confused. But in Block Wars 6, he understood the games a lot better and performed well enough to be granted A+ tier in my mind. Next up, we have Cam-Man 18, and I feel like this one's very fair. He isn't as skilled as the people above him, but he's definitely more skilled than the people below him. He got his first ever top 5 last event, and he came top 10 and won his first ever event. I feel like he definitely has the skills of an A+ tier player, maybe even an S tier for that regard. Now, one thing I want to see is I want to see Cam-Man outbeat the top frag of his team, as every single time he's played, he's been the second frag. But this is also interesting because he led his team in Block Wars 4 and in 5. Well, kind of co-led, as he had Boostfur and Alumina to help lead, but he still definitely helped lead. And this is also in Block Wars 6 as well. So he's definitely the best second frag, but I feel like he definitely has the skills to be top frag as well and lead a team completely on his own, which is something I want to see happen in the near future for him. He's very good at movement, and I feel like he needs to work on his PvP in order to be above the people above him. But that's it for me and Cam-Man. I feel like he is A+. Next up, we have Greninja, and this is someone, now we're getting to the people where I believe they can get into the S tiers. And I feel like some people might even consider Greninja S tier already, but I feel like he's only gotten top 10 twice, and well, top 5 twice as well, and I feel like that just shows that I feel like he's only A+ tier here. Greninja is probably one of, if not the best PvPer in the entire Block Wars event, and I feel like he could become S tier in the future. However, the problem is he's also very inconsistent, which you can see a pattern with a lot of people here in Block Wars. He came like 16th, then 11th, then 4th, 2nd, and then 11th yet again. if he could had more top 5s and maybe even a first, I feel like he could become S tier. But the issue, he is just way too inconsistent to be considered S tier, which is why he is currently A+. Next up, we have yet another person who can become S tier, but is too inconsistent and is A+, and that is Antfrost. He's come third twice, which is very, very good, which is why I feel like he's above Greninja, who got second and fourth, even though that is also the same average anyways. But he's only gotten 2 top 5s, heck, even top 10 under his belt, and he's came 11th twice, and even outfragged Greninja on the same team as him. Antfrost definitely could become S tier. He's led his own team, especially in the last one, and became 4th in Block Wars Origins, which is very impressive, as Block Wars Origins is a lot more competitive than normal Block Wars. But I feel like as long as Antfrost gets more top 5s, he can be a S tier. But next up we have Reddoons, which is someone I feel like a lot of people are going to disagree with being this low and not even being in S tier. A lot of people think that he is S tier, and I think a lot of people might even think Antfrost is S tier. But I digress. And I just realized this video has turned into me saying how someone could become S tier. I'm just saying this is why they're so high up on A+. I just want to point that out. But anyways, Reddoons has the skills of an A+ tier player, but he just only has one singular top 5, which was in Block Wars 2. And to be fair, he did outfrag Pickles, but I feel like we just gotta acknowledge the fact that he came 20th last event, which of course was an underperformance. I'm not gonna deny that, but come on, if you're S tier, 20th, but again, underperformance just happened. I acknowledge that, but you need more top 5s in order to get higher up. But again, he's still really, really good, which is why he's as high up as he is on the A+ tier trend. I don't know. Next up we have Pizza, and this is someone who I feel like he's going to be very controversial for being this high up, but hear me out. He's gotten 6th and 5th, well 6th place on a 3rd place team, but 5th place on like a 7th place team, which is like 3k points away from first, which is really, really impressive. To be fair, he got 10th last event, however, he did not have a very lucky event, to say the least. He's very good at Spleef, and as well as other movement games. He's also very good at extraction. I feel like Pete definitely could be S tier soon, which is why he's so high up. But I feel like he just needs to, get more top 5s and get some higher placing teams under his belt. If he can do that, I feel like he could be the very next S tier. But there's still one more A+ tier player who I feel like is the best out of all the A+ tier players. And that being Amiston. He got top 5 in Block Wars 1 whilst being on a last place team. And I feel like that alone should prove my point that he's the best A+ tier player. But I gotta keep going, I guess. He is very, very good at Spleef, Move, and PvP games. And I like that. Yeah. He definitely could be S tier, especially with that 5th place on an 8th place team. But oh well, he definitely has the skills to do it, and I could definitely see it happening. But the problem is he just hasn't played in a long time, and yeah, he definitely he's without a doubt the best A+ tier player in my mind, and I feel like he definitely could be the next S tier if he gets in enough creator events. But he hasn't played in a long time, so that rounds up our A+ tier players. And now on to our S tier player rankings. And the lowest ranked S tier player is X-Shatter. So the reason why he's ranked so low is because he only has 1 top 5, but he came first, which is why he's S tier. That was in Block Wars 1, but besides that, he has not gotten top 5. But he still has the S tier mechanics, and again, got first in Block Wars 1. He is very good at the PvP games, but also does good in Spleef and movement games as well. He showed that he can lead a team, but has not won one yet. So overall, he's an S tier, but he just isn't as skilled as the other S tiers that we have in Block Wars. Next up, we have a controversial pick probably, Curryway, and he's not gotten first individual yet. However, he has gotten 3rd in his first ever event, which is his highest placement yet. Besides that, he came 4th and 7th, and it showed that he can lead a team to 2 bridges, but also just lead a team in general. He underperformed in Block Wars 6, which is how he got 7th, but he's definitely has the mechanics of an S tier player, and probably one of some of the best mechanics as an S tier player out of all of them. The issue is he just hasn't even got that many top 5s, and yeah, the underperformance probably ranked him down pretty low, but I recognize that was definitely an underperformance from him as I watched his POV for Block Wars 6 live. Overall, Current Way is S tier in my mind, and he will probably continue to rank up on this chart as more Block Wars continue. So, yep, moving on. Next up, we have Pickles. So Pickles here is, well, an S tier player, and we've reached top 5, and Pickles is 5th on my little Block Wars leaderboard. Pickles had gotten 1st individual in his 2nd ever event, which was in Block Wars 3, but he's not played in any Block Wars since then. I do not know why, but I hope to see him return. Yeah, he got 1st in his 2nd ever event, and he destroyed that event, getting top 5 in 5 of the games, and he even did good in his 1st ever Block Wars Creator event. However, it was a bit of an underperformance from him. Pickles is very skilled in Spleef, being the best Spleef player in both Origins and the Creator event, and he also showed that he's very good at other movement games and PvP games. So overall, Pickles is our 5th best Block Wars Creator event player. So next up we have Sam Dong Fortnite. So Sam is very good at Block Wars, and he is our 4th best player in the event. He's only played in one Creator event, that being Block Wars 3, where he got 2nd, pretty close to 1st individual as well. And he even got 1st individual in a Block Wars Origin event, which again is way more competitive than normal Block Wars. So, with that being said, I feel like it's pretty obvious that he would be considered S tier and ranked pretty high up here on the leaderboard. However, the issue is why I haven't put him in top 3 is because he's only played in one Creator event, and he didn't even get 1st in it. However, he got 2nd. It still does really good in Block Wars Origins, and still did good in his one Creator event, which is why I put him in 4th. Next up, we have our favorite underperforming Block Wars player, Purpled. So, Purpled has gotten 2nd in his 1st ever Block Wars, which is very, very impressive because he did not play in a single Origins event, and he beat a lot of people who did, with the only person standing his way is X Shatter. And then he came 2nd in Block Wars 2, and in Block Wars 3, he underperformed, he got 11th. Then he came back in Block Wars 4, getting 1st. Then he played on a scuff setup in Block Wars 5, getting 15th. And he got 1st individual yet again in Block Wars 6, making him the 1st person to ever get 1st individual twice in Block Wars, which is why I put him at the 3rd best Block Wars player. But I also want to use this time to show this clip of him in Block Wars 4's race.
Alright, let's see what dance I want to do. Oh god. No, I didn't
So, our 2nd best player is Fire Breath Man, and this might be a surprise to many, but once you see number 1, you'll probably understand. Fire Breath Man is very dominant in Block Wars and shown that he is a big threat, getting top 5 in all 5 of his events, in each being a different placement of top 5, might I add. And he has 2 wins in Block Wars 2 and 5, and yep, he can lead a team, big surprise, and he's very skilled, another big surprise. So, of course, Fire Breath Man is going to be very high up because he is Fire Breath Man. However, there's only one person who I think stands in his way and is the best Block Wars player, in my opinion, and that is Feinberg. Feinberg is the number 1 Block Wars player, in my opinion. He got 1st individual in his 1st ever Block Wars, and his 2nd one, he got 2nd individual. He's shown that he can lead a team and has gotten 1st and 3rd as team placements in his events. He's very skilled in every mechanic basically, and I feel like he's the best player. He is a bit massive threat. He has got a bunch of records already, even though he's only played in 2 events. And honestly, I feel like he is probably the most skilled player in the event as well, mechanically, which is just scary enough. And he definitely understands the games very well. I don't know where I'm going with this. Number 1, Feinberg. And yeah, thank you for watching. And expect an MCC variant of this very, very soon. And yeah, goodbye.